Christine, how much does it hurt the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out?
It is devastating to the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out.
Now, I know a lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said, one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion.
In the WNBA world, and it is ugly. The league's golden goose, Caitlin Clark, is sidelined with injury, and the entire WNBA ecosystem is collapsing around her. We're talking viewership plummeting over 55% nationally. We're talking Fever road game tickets nosediving by 71% overnight. We're talking mounting evidence of a mass fan boycott against a league accused of failing its brightest star and her supporters. This isn't just a slump, people. This is a full-blown crisis, exposing the WNBA's dangerous over-reliance on Caitlin Clark and its failure to protect her or capitalize responsibly on her historic impact.
And the truth is the truth, and the data is there. And what we saw when Caitlin was out the last time, the 5 games that she missed earlier in the season, the WNBA's viewership dropped more than 50%. Not just the Fever, but the entire league.
And this is a deep dive into the chaos. Since Clark's quad strain injury on May 24th, national WNBA TV ratings plummeted 55%, while Fever-specific broadcasts dropped 53%. This isn't a slump, it's a systemic collapse. Games without Clark, even those featuring stars like Asia Wilson or Angel Reese, failed to retain viewers. The hyped Sky Liberty matchup became a ratings disaster, drawing just 939,000 viewers versus Clark's typical 2 million plus audiences.
Injury jumped to her groin likely because of compensation. But the thing that you have to be careful of is if, say, you try to rush her back from this injury as well, then you're getting into this territory where a very serious injury can happen. That is what the Indiana Fever, that is what Caitlin need to avoid the best that they possibly can. So if it means that Caitlin is out for 3 weeks, if it means that she is out all the way through All-Star, then so be it.
Clark participated in 20 of the 23 games that surpassed 1 million viewers in 2024. Non-Fever games rarely cracked 1 million, with the Sparks Aces featuring Cameron Brink being the lone exception at number 15 on the viewership rankings. 71% plunge for Fever at Sky. Tickets for Clark's June game at the United Center, moved to accommodate her hype, crashed 71% after her injury.
Clark went down. The WNBA ratings have dropped over 55%. Yikes. Across the board.
Hey, guess what, guys?
The league is Caitlin Clark.
The league is Caitlin Clark. She is the WNBA, guys.
Sidelined with a left quad strain May 24th. National TV viewership has plunged since then 55%. Before the injury, the Fever, her team, were averaging 1.81 million viewers, almost 2 million. Since her injury, fewer than 850,000.
Her absence reversed this overnight, exposing the league's over-reliance. A significant segment of Clark's fan base is actively boycotting the league, citing targeted physical abuse. Clark endured excessive fouling, with the league slow to address it. Incidents like Brittany Griner's alleged racial slur, clip shown, fueled perceptions of a toxic environment.
Is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA. At the end of this season, the WNBA will go into CBA negotiations. If negotiations go well, then every single player in the WNBA has a much better chance of making so much more in their next contract. And that's one thing when you start thinking about how many people stopped watching when Caitlin Clark got injured. A lot of people stopped watching because they are boycotting the WNBA. They don't want to give viewership to any other teams or any other players, whether they like other players on the team or not, because of how the media and the league itself has handled Caitlin Clark and how they have treated her
The
fans.
WNBA's crisis isn't just about losing a star, it's about failing to institutionalize her impact. The league prioritized short-term gains from Clark's stardom without building systems to protect her or retain her fan base. The result? A self-inflicted catastrophe proving Clark isn't just a player, she's the league's economic infrastructure. Let's be absolutely clear. Caitlin Clark isn't just a great rookie. She's a cultural and economic force reshaping professional women's sports. Her 2024 impact? Estimated $36.5 million for Indianapolis alone, dwarfing predictions from the Five. Her presence increased the WNBA's overall projected value to a minimum of $875 million. 5. Merchandise sales up 236%. 10. She holds 26 of the 34 WNBA telecasts to top 1 million viewers since 2008 before she was even drafted. 16. These numbers are supernova level. Despite this unimaginable pressure and spotlight, Clark remains remarkably grounded. Look at her reaction to leading All-Star voting by a mile. People get so hyped up over that. But that's not why you play the game. It's really only 50% of the votes. But it is cool, and it's also cool for me to see how much love my teammates also got.
Man, bruh. Congratulations to the WNBA. Your ratings are going to drop by 55 to 60% once again. I believe the WNBA have successfully broken Caitlin Clark.
She deflects the hype towards her team. This humility paired with her electrifying play is why fans adore her and feel fiercely protective. And how did the league reciprocate this generational gift? By allowing her to be mercilessly targeted with physical play bordering on dangerous, often with minimal consequence. Veteran columnist Christine Brennan rightly called out the toxic environment this created, a narrative often tinged with troubling racial stereotypes that pitted Clark against black athletes. 4. The league failed to decisively protect its golden goose.
As big a deal as Tiger was in men's golf, Keith, he did, and when he was gone, it affected the ratings, but nothing like that. And, Michael Jordan being out, maybe a 5 percentage points or something. Nothing like this. You can make a strong case, and I will make that case, and have that there is no one single athlete more important to his or her sport or tour or whatever the circuit is that they play on than Caitlin Clark is to the WNBA.
Creating a toxic environment that alienated Clark fans and made them feel their heroine was under siege within her own league. This failure is directly linked to the fan anger fueling the current boycott. Angel Reese, double-double records, and Cameron Brink, defensive prominence, are talented, but none match Clark's economic gravity. Example, the average ticket price for Dallas Wings games spiked with Paige Bucher's arrival, yet the most expensive 2025 game league-wide remains Dallas versus Indiana, 384 average, proving Clark is the non-negotiable driver of premium demand. 812. Clark alone drove 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity in 2024, including 45% of broadcast value and 500% merchandise growth.
The thing I admire about Caitlin, she's a warrior. She's tough. You hear me? Bruh, you just don't see players, you don't see female basketball players like her. I'm sorry. I done seen a lot of female basketball players, like I said.
Publicly acknowledge failures in protecting players, including Clark, and integrating new fans without alienating core supporters. Spotlight rivalries unrelated to Clark, e.g. Aces Liberty, using ESPN partnerships. Leverage Clark's games as gateways to broader fandom. Partner with AI firms like Chicago Sky's app to shield players from abuse while holding platforms accountable for hate speech. This isn't just criticism. It's a demand for the league to earn her impact.
I don't even know where to begin, man. I hope Caitlin Clark is okay. I want to know when this injury even happened, bro, because let's be serious here. She has the quad injury. Mind you, Caitlin Clark hadn't missed a game since she was like 19 years old, since she was like 18 in college or something. Now she has a groin injury. We've never seen Caitlin Clark play as bad as she played the last 3 games. Let's just be serious here. She's like 1 for 20-something on threes in the last 3. We've never seen her shoot the ball this way. I'll say that. Has she been hurt and playing through this?
Clark's humility, it's cool to see love for my teammates. 8 contrasts with the WNBA's greed. Fans boycott not out of pettiness, but because the league's refusal to protect its golden goose or share her wealth insults her legacy. The solution? A league where Clark's brilliance lifts every player, not just profits. Caitlin Clark's injury didn't just sideline a player, it revealed the league's shaky foundation. The league's failure to safeguard its transcendent star and responsibly harness the once-in-a-lifetime momentum she created. They took the Caitlin Clark effect for granted, allowed a toxic environment to fester, and are now reaping the whirlwind. Her return will provide a temporary fix, but without systemic change, protecting stars, bridging fan divides, investing wisely, this panic will return.
To clean up, I believe the physicality and all this hacking and fouling that goes on, she getting blindsided by Marina Mabrey. I think all of this stuff is having a wear and tear and an impact. And all you guys are doing are hurting yourselves, because the numbers are going to drop and drop and drop. And trust me, when it's time for that collective bargaining agreement, they are going to point to this and say, well, how can we give you guys all this money? What happens if she gets hurt?
The WNBA's future hinges on learning from this disaster before it's too late. Let me know down in the comments. Is the boycott justified? Has the league failed Caitlin? What must change? Sound off. Smash that like button if you believe the WNBA needs urgent reform to survive long term. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. We cover the WNBA deeper and with more passion than anyone, especially the Caitlin Clark phenomenon, without the toxic agendas. We need your support to keep delivering this crucial analysis. Thanks for watching. Stay passionate, stay informed. This conversation is vital for the future of women's basketball. See you next time.